County. And my Lord, it's already Wednesday.
Yep.
But welcome into another edition of SunTV. I'm Clint Franks, along with Miss Deanne Campbell.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going. Another paper's out. We're waiting on them to bring it to us. Be on the street shortly. It always feels good when you get to that point.
It does. It really does.
After several days of a lot of work, late hours and all, Wednesday feels pretty good. Feels like Friday. Of course, tomorrow's Monday all over again in our world.
Yes, it is.
You don't last long, but for right now, we're a little bit calmer than we were this time yesterday.
Well,
yeah. A little bit nicer too, huh?
I can attest to that.
Yeah. What's in the news this week?
In the news, gun control.
Gun control. Since the Florida shooting, of course, every time we have a shooting like this, the talk is all about that. Sometimes it's immediate, which seems a little bit not a good idea to talk about it when people they're still assessing who is and is not still alive in a certain situation. But they do talk about that right off the bat, and they've talked about it in a big way since the shooting in Florida. And in particular, they've been talking a lot about assault rifles because apparently he used an AR-15. And, you know, obviously the boy had problems. Obviously, he shouldn't have had any weapons. That was a failure on several levels, mental health and otherwise. But since then, there's been a lot of talk about banning rifles like that and other guns as well, in particular for people who are under 21. But the government has not acted on that. There's been a lot of talk, but they haven't done anything yet, amid a lot of debate over from both factions on either side of the issue. But in the middle of all this, Dick's Sporting Goods has taken upon themselves to ban the sale of assault rifles or any guns to someone under the age of 21. Their stores will no longer sell to you if you're under 21. Don't know how that's going to work, or if other retailers will follow that, but that's what they're doing. That's their store policy now. Don't know if the federal government will follow suit, or state governments, or whatever, but it seems to me like there might be some pushback from that by people who think that constitutional rights are being violated, and we'll see what happens after this. But that's their decision corporately right now. You remember that murder in Citronelle back in 2016 when the man allegedly killed 5 people with an axe and a pregnant woman, so really 6 people, counting the unborn baby that was involved in that? Derek Dearman was arrested for that, allegedly killed this group of people in a home. He is still waiting trial. It's been 1.5 years now, but allegedly now he is, there may be some question as to whether or not he's competent to stand trial. They're talking about his mental health at this point. It's supposed to go to trial in September. We'll see if they decide if he's competent or not. There's a lot of different ways to think about that kind of issue, but really to me, anybody who could do that kind of a thing to other people is mentally off anyway. But it does not mean that they should be not held accountable for their actions. So we'll see what happens in that case. That's just right down the road here from Citronelle, so kind of close to home, so what's going on with the Powerball jackpot?
I see in our show notes here, $293 million.
Yep, that's right. You know, we've talked about this in Alabama a lot lately because every time the legislative session starts again, somebody brings up a lottery for Alabama. And it's been a talk in a big way for the last several years, and it never really gets anywhere. It never gets out of the legislature, never gets to the people for a vote. And if you remember back in the late 90s, I think Don Siegelman was governor. They did take it to the people for a vote, and it was voted down. There's several people who believe that it might come back up again, if not this year, then next, and we'll see what happens, whether or not Alabama joins the group of bunches of states who have a lottery. Mississippi is about to get one, it looks like, and so we'll be surrounded by states who have lotteries. So people are driving to those states to buy their tickets in hopes that they win the $293 million that's up there for grabs.
It kind of rolls off the tongue, a little sweet, doesn't it?
I don't even know what to think about. My mind don't even work in those zeros. But this week, this goes along with the story that's in this week's paper about local students and what they would give up for a winning lottery ticket worth $100 million. That was the question posed to high schoolers and college students, and interesting answers, shocking answers actually, but you need to get a copy of the paper today to find out what all that was about and some other issues related to that. You know, If you win the lottery, what would you do with it, Clint?
First thing I would do, if I won the lottery, straight up, the house is paid for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, that and every bill that I have is gone.
You better take care of your mom.
Well, we're getting to that.
I know your mama, Clint.
She'll
come after you.
Well, we're getting to that, and every bill that they've got is probably gone.
Yeah.
Son is probably going to be on vacation next week by default.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but really, take care of some things, and I would not want people to know that I had won the lottery.
Well, you know, there is a lady right now who's trying to keep her identity quiet, trying to keep it non-public, and she's having to go through the courts to do that. I don't know how that'll turn out, but she don't want anybody to know it either. Probably for good reason, because people tend to come out of the woodworks.
That's right.
And you find you have cousins that you never knew existed. And there's a lot of gimme-handers out there ready to get a little bit chunk of that cash. So that's what happens.
And you keep giving it away, it can go away.
That's right. That brings us to this. These are 10 things that you probably should not do if you win that jackpot. This is from some information from USA Today. Number 1, you shouldn't forget to sign the ticket or report that you won it to the state. You should not do that.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't tell everybody that you know. We just talked about why. You should not decide without giving it a lot of thought whether to take the cash payout or the overtime payout. You should give that a lot of thought before you decide. You stand to lose some money if you take the cash out. But some people are greedy. They want it now.
On the other hand,
and then they're scared that they might not end up getting it after all, which might be a good reason. Do not do this either, Clint. You might be tempted to do this, but do not think that you're the smartest person in the world because you won that thing. Really don't have anything to do with smarts most of the time. You talked about this. Do not keep your debts in place. Pay them off. Pay them off. Do not become excessive with spending, which is really hard when you got $293 million. Do not buy everything for everybody. You can buy it for me.
Sure.
And our co-workers over in the background here are saying that you could buy it for them, Clint, but not for everybody.
I just said we're on vacation next week.
There you go. Do not forget about the taxes that have to come out. Don't be planning to spend every dollar because Uncle Sam's going to get his little chunk.
Buy it and move to a foreign country.
Exactly. Well, and do not become a business backer for your family and friends who have these lofty ideas about what they want to do.
Right.
What kind of business they want to start up. And last, don't get uppity and forget where you came from.
I agree with that.
You're from Gilbertown, Clint. If you got $293 million, you're still from Gilbertown.
I'm still from Gilbertown.
Don't forget it. You're still from Choctaw.
But the 68 Chevelle is coming to the house.
Well, that'd be all right. You know, the fact is that about 70% of all lottery winners end up broke.
True.
Now, how is that? I see that. You see that in these athletes and all who or movie stars or whoever makes mega bucks. They end up broke. I can't figure that out.
Spin.
Bad investments, I guess. So, what do you think would be the very first thing that you would do, aside from paying off your debt? What's the very first thing you would do?
Call you and tell you I'm going to be late in the morning.
Would you even come to work?
Yes, I would.
Really?
Yes, I would.
I would too. I can't imagine a day, money or not, when I would not work. It's just not in me to do it.
We might have to talk about vacations during the summer. We'd have to talk about that. No,
go here and there and do a little trip.
But no, I would not. I would not quit.
I wouldn't either. Well, it's because really, for me, I do this for more than just money. Good thing. If it was for the money, I might not continue. Right. But we do it for other reasons. And I think that would continue.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So, if you want to read about what students in the area, high school and college students, think about winning the lottery and whether or not they would give up various things in exchange for that winning ticket, get a copy of the Sun this morning, and also a lot of political news in the paper.
Yes, it is.
A lot of things going on related to the candidates and some different stories related to those who have announced. We've got a story, too, on what a local timber company is doing to promote safety among young drivers when trucks are on the road with them. Very interesting. What they're trying to put out a video. They are putting out a video to help students in driver's ed classes to learn defensive driving around trucks, or how to stay safe around trucks, not just defensively, but to Well, most of the accidents involving trucks are really not the fault of the trucks. They're the fault of distracted driver or something like that. Some are the fault of trucks. But this is a pretty good idea, and I hope it works, because this is an area where log trucks, other trucks are on our roads all the time. And typically, most fatalities involving big trucks are not on highways. They're on rural roads like ours. So it's very interesting what it's Midstar Timber is doing this. And so get a copy of the paper today and read about what they're doing with that. And we got some sports in there. We got a little bit of baseball, softball. We got some more coming.
We've got a lot more coming. That is going to be the topic of discussion now for the next few months.
And next week we'll have a look at who is the all-county basketball team.
We're getting that together right now.
So don't forget to watch for that so you can vote for Player of the Year this year. And I guess that's our show for today. We'll be back here on Friday, and y'all have a good day.